Okay then, so as you can see by the intro, I've been a bit busy. So there's a few things on the bike I want to show you today. One's the seat, then there's the swing arm, and then there's these tubes that I've been on about that I've welded in. So let's have a look at these tubes first. Now if you remember, it was all open round here and that was the weakest part, but now I've welded these tubes in. Now the weld's still got to be cleaned up here. It's just there, I haven't done that yet. But now these tubes have been put in there, I can put a gusset in here now, which is going to help the seat in strength. Now the other thing with the seat is, if you look at the battery that I've put there, I'm going to make a steel battery box for that to go in. Now the box will be about that much wider, for the simple reason I'm going to have tubes coming from the bottom to support the battery box. So from here underneath the battery box, and instead of them coming up the back of the battery box, underneath there's going to be holes. I'm going to use the hole cutter, put 2 holes in, so the tube's going to come under the battery box and then through inside of it, straight up underneath the seat, one each side. Now that will strengthen the seat. And then what I want to do after that is at the battery box, just about around here, I'm going to cut a hole each side of it at the back, just to expose the tubes running up inside, so that I can weld the tube then from here at an angle like that, running with the shape of the wheel there, like that. So that's just a couple of things I'm going to do to support the seat. Now the other thing is the swinging arm. So what I've done there, obviously the bottom's all finished there, it runs down and it's welded in underneath there. Now if you look at the top, that isn't finished yet, and I can't do that until I've got the mud guard. Now the mud guard is going to flow obviously from here all the way around, and when it gets to this point where these tubes are, what's going to happen is, at the moment these are too long, so they're going to be cut around about there. I won't know until I get the mud guard. So they're going to be cut there, and then the mud guard itself is going to be slotted like 2 U-shapes like that either side. So when I lower the mud guard down, it'll just fit over these just nicely, and I'll put a bit of rubber bead round it as well, so it'll fit over just nice like that, and then it'll look as if the top part of the swinging arm just disappears under the mud guard. So it'll keep all this really clean round there, and also with the tubes running inside the battery box as a support up and across, it'll keep it all clean there as well. Now the other thing is, I don't want to mount any electrics under it, regulator fuses, I don't want none of that. So this template then on the swinging arm, this is a template, it's only a rough one for now, it could change a bit. It's a template of a toolbox, the base of the toolbox. Now this is where the electrics are going, in this side, the regulator at the bottom, fuses. Now when I make the base out of steel, what's going to happen is, I'll cut it there and then go down to this point, cut across, so it'll have a strip cut out, and then I'll form a tunnel shape all the way down, so the base will fit straight over the original part of the swing arm, so the toolbox fits right into the swinging arm. So if we look down here, the toolbox will just come nicely in like that, and then it'll come about perhaps inch and a quarter this side of the swinging arm. So that'll be a nice flush fit either side, so that'll be alright, that'll look good. And then the toolbox the opposite side, obviously I use that for regular stuff, spark plug, pipes, condenser and all that. So Once the mudguard's on then, and these have been sorted out, it'll have a nice clean look. And then I can put the struts on then. What I'll do, just to there, I'll weld a piece of steel there, 6mm the same as this. And then we'll have a strut coming from there straight up to the top of the mudguard. Now we'll use some stainless button heads in that as well, I think. And then we'll have another strut coming from there to the back. So as we look at it now like that, you imagine a strut from there up, and then one across, and then the mudguard coming round, and the mudguard will go round all the way to the bottom of that swinging arm. Now once all the frame's painted black, and we can get the coach lines on, those white coach lines, maybe an off-white colour, I don't know, but it'll all start from the headstock here. Now eventually I will have a tube here coming into the frame, but I can't do that until I've got the tank on, because I won't know how far to go in or how low to go, so I need to get the tank before I can do that. But once it's there, we can get the tube in, put that nice gusset in there, and then we'll have the CZ emblem there in white, and then the coach line will follow it round, down the down tube, along the bottom rail, across the bottom of the swinging arm, straight up, and it'll just follow there. And then there'll be a coach line on the mudguard, all the way down to there, all the way around. And then on the toolbox, there'll be a coach line around there like that as well. And maybe either a jawa emblem or CZ. But that's the plans. Now, the next thing to do is get the suspension in. So that's what I'm going to do next. So in the next film, what we'll do, we'll be able to see the swinging arm actually move up and down on the shocks. And I think the next thing to do after that, I might put the standard forks on and then adjust them, lower them if you like, so the bike sits right, so at least then we'll have a rolling chassis, easier to work on. So I think that's about it then, for this week anyway. So the next film will be another 3-4 weeks, hopefully sooner, and then we'll see these shock absorbers in, and hopefully get a mudguard soon. Right, I'll catch you later.